Hey guys, happy Friday. Here is our communication for setting up week 4. Beginning with, here we are in the week 4 folder, which will be opened at noon today. You're supposed to submit MC2 final draft in the week 3 folder by Monday, Feb 7 at noon. So it's actually literally in the week 3 folder, right at the bottom. So I'm keeping it there, and that's where you shall find it and submit. As for week 4, we're also going to introduce some new terms, claim and evidence. And then you're going to do a worksheet practice with compare and contrast analysis structure. That's due Tuesday at noon. And then I'm officially assigning MC3. The outline is due Friday at noon. There are no textbook readings for this week because I think you'll have enough other reading and so on. I have included a link for the studio and academic support services. I just say check it out. I want to run through it, a couple highlights. There's the Academic Support Center, the library, Student Success Center, supplemental. The studio is really what I'd like you to check out if you'd like. It's a comprehensive writing and literacy students that provides you guys services for reading, writing, critical thinking skills. You can do it online. If you ever have any questions, let me know. So then we move to our first assignment. Now, when it's a little globe like this, that means that the link, the title is actually a link to the internet. For this assignment, you're going to work on the terms claim and evidence. And we're using a picture, and I'm going to put it up here. So this is by Hogarth from the 1700s. He told stories. He's got one picture on the left and then a picture on the right. They're related and they talk to each other. The one on the left is called Beer Street. The one on the right is Gin Lane. I'm going to jump back real quick and I'm going to open up this link. This is a worksheet that you're going to do, and you're going to put your name here. You're going to look for key details from the 2 Hogarth prints. You're then going to develop a thesis. What thesis can you formulate about Hogarth's intent for the 2 pictures? So he wrote those 2 pictures as a kind of commentary on society, and you're going to try to figure out what that is. And then I give you this here. Read the document. You read this document last week, and I'm just going to click and open it. This was the compare and contrasting. You might review it, look it over. I do love, a diagram. I'm emphasizing today in particular to look at maybe thesis, but definitely organizing your paper, because they give you different ways to organize a compare-contrast. There's subject by subject, point by point. Those are the 2 main ways. There's another web page that I'm linking you to here, and this one I like because it's much more straightforward in my opinion. So it just talks about the point. It gives you some basic structure comments. It gives you a nice chart. And then it talks about writing an essay like this and gives you an example. Now this is a multi-paragraph one, but I would look through these. After you do all that, here's your writing exercise. You're going to write a 300+ word compare-contrast paragraph in which you argue that Hogarth intended his audience to come to a certain conclusion based on these 2 prints. Use at least 3 images from each picture to support your thesis. So I'm going to go back to the picture. And you can always blow these up. Notice my cursor is now a little magnifying glass. So let's say I notice that there's this kind of weather vane-like thing hanging here and here. Well, these are 2 things that are similar, right? Like 2. So I'm going to dial in. This one's hanging down and broken on Beer Street. And look at that, the building is all broken and messed up, and it says it's a pawnbroker. That's a detail. Now let's look at this one. This weather vane is attached. It's a beautiful building, and it says pawnbroker. So the question is, on Gin Lane, why is the pawnbroker building so nice and this one not? That's another thing to look at. What about the backgrounds? What is happening with the buildings in the backgrounds on Beer Street? What about the buildings in the background on Gin Lane? And the point of this is you're noticing specific details. And so I'm focusing on a picture here instead of a text because it's easier to understand how important details are from pictures versus texts. And I want you to really dial in on those details because, as you noticed from your MC2s where I asked you to give examples from your life, now we're going to work on doing that with texts, complicated academic texts, right? And so that's what we're practicing, and we're starting with pictures. All right, so you're going to do that and turn that in. I gave you some extensive directions. Here's where you turn it in. You're going to submit it right here. So you're going to take this document, you're going to do all your work on it, file, make a copy, make it your own, write your 300 words here, submit it as a PDF right here. Then here's your MC3 assignment on the Google Doc. This is the whole assignment. The due date is Friday of week 4 for an outline. The rough draft is due the next Friday, February 18th, and then the final draft on February 25th. So you've got a lot of time to write it. And this is the assignment sheet. It is write a strong paragraph in which you use a compare-contrast analysis to make a point about a pandemic or some issue to do with pandemics. See the outline example below. I'll come to that in a second. So you're going to want a clear topic sentence stating your position. That's going to be your claim. You're going to present a compare-contrast analysis which supports your position. You're going to use cited research, that's your evidence, from only the pandemic texts that we read for class. So you have to use that folder of 4 pandemic texts from week 3 as your research for this. A couple key things. Do read the rubric because it's very specific what I'm asking for. You don't have to use all 4 texts. You do have to use at least 4 pieces of evidence, but you only need to use at least 2 sources from the selection. So you have to have 4 pieces of evidence, but like 2 could be from one article and 2 could be from another article. If you have any questions about this, please email me. You'll notice the essay is only 1 paragraph. I truly mean just 1 paragraph. It's a complicated paragraph though. The outline, here's the topic sentence is like your main claim, okay? It's almost like your thesis, really. And then points or position, you're going to make a subclaim here that supports this claim. And then you might even need a subclaim here, and then your cited evidence. Don't get too worried about these subclaim things here. This is not a formal essay. This is you trying to work out what I'm looking for in terms of claims and evidence and paragraph structure. And so notice this is a major composition, and it's only 1 paragraph. And you might ask yourself, well, why is he having us do a whole essay that's only 1 paragraph? That's ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you why, because I have super high expectations for when you write this paper, how you develop a paragraph in terms of a clear topic sentence, in this case a thesis really, and then using evidence and subclaims within that paragraph to make a point. And then citing correctly, right? I want to make sure everybody can do this well on a paragraph level. I used to do this as like a 5-paragraph essay, and I found I was making the same revision comments on each of the body paragraphs. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why don't I just have them write 1 paragraph and teach them to master it within 1 paragraph? And it works really well. So that's what we're looking for here. That's my rationale. All right, and then you're going to submit your outline right here. It's due Friday at noon. Any questions? I asked that because I'm so used to teaching in person. It's 9 minutes and 34 seconds. Signing out. Email me if you have questions or show up at office hours. Take care. Bye-bye.